Dreamers live here with Bayut. Find real and authentic properties using TrueCheck. Download the app or visit Bayut.com.
We are talking real estate with Paul Christodoulou, CEO of AQUA Properties, who's with us here at the Neo Hub. Morning.
Morning, how are you?
Hey, good, thanks very much indeed. So we've asked you to bring your real estate crystal ball in with you this morning. We know that the first 9 months of this year have been stellar for the Dubai market, with a couple of weeks of wobbles, but that's about it. What are you seeing as we enter or head towards Q4 of 2025?
Well, I see the stellar first 9 months continuing until the end of the year. Demand is high, especially from an international client perspective, European nationals in particular, and I don't see that changing.
Yeah, Tom, you picked up on a story this morning on Reuters saying that British buyers in particular the last few weeks have been throwing a lot of money at Dubai real estate. That's partly a currency thing. The British pound is stronger against the dirham at the moment. What evidence have you seen of that?
We actually concluded a sale last week on the Palm Jumeirah from a British buyer. It was quite a significant transaction. As much as the pound is gaining value, I think the main reason obviously is Brits in particular are looking to relocate to the UAE for various reasons.
When you say significant transaction, we're not talking about lunch at Sushi Samba. We're talking about buying.
No, not talking about a business lunch. No, it was a 44 million dirham garden home sale.
Okay, fine, cool. So that's still happening. The other question we were pondering, though, what's happening to Indian buyers at the moment? Because the pound is strong against the dirham at the moment. Happy days if you've got sterling. The rupee, Indian rupee, is pretty much at an all-time low against the dollar and by extension the dirham. How's that dynamic playing out?
Well, I think the Indian buyers have made a significant, they're a significant market for the UAE, Dubai in particular. I don't see that changing. Yes, I understand that the currency is not that strong at the moment. However, the Indian buyers are certainly keen on various projects across Dubai.
So there's no exodus of Indian buyers?
No, certainly not.
What's the sweet spot as we enter Q4 in terms of the type of deals you're going to be doing and your peers are doing?
Well, we run various offices, so we have community branches, like your typical high street branch that you'd get, say, back in Europe, for example, and then we have our main office here on Sheikh Zayed Road, which is a typical office rather than community-based. However, I see that the market in the next 3-4 months, we've seen it in Q1, a very strong 70% of the market was off plan. That's slowed a little bit during Q2, and I think secondary market is certainly coming back now. But I do believe if I were an investor now, I would be looking for off-plan resales. I think the off-plan resale market is a very interesting market.
Why?
Because there will be opportunity. Certainly in the next 12 months, as projects start to hand over, there will be those clients who may have thought that they would have exited by now, they're looking to exit that investment.
Okay, so will we be able to buy into these at a low premium, perhaps even cost price, or maybe even below cost price? Where do you see it?
We aren't seeing below. However, we have seen 1 or 2 sales recently that members of the team have concluded at around OP.
OP?
Yeah, being the original price. Yes,
Yeah.
So I think that's an interesting opportunity if I were an investor coming into the market. If I were looking for something specific, that's different. I mean, you're seeing, for example, various launches at the moment of new villa communities. Jumeirah Golf Estates, for example, are launching this week their new Ashwood Estates. I think that there's only 185 villas. So I think if you're looking for a villa or a townhouse investment, then it's slightly harder than the apartment market, as the apartment market is 70% of the real estate market here in Dubai.
It's harder as a buyer because there's not as much supply.
Correct.
Okay, and apartments, this is the area where some people have flagged up we may have an issue with oversupply. I mean, who knows when? All right, people were predicting for about 3 years now. It hasn't happened, but you know the story. What are you seeing in terms of the supply dynamics?
Well, I think the next 12 to 18 months are certainly going to be interesting, and I think if there were an opportunity as an investor, then the apartment market would be that dynamic that I would be looking at.
When a lot of the apartments come on the market, when do you expect to have that big supply come onto the market of apartments? Because it's not really happened this year, has it?
No. I actually think that's been one of Dubai's saving graces over the years. If they're expecting to hand over a certain amount of units, for various reasons, that is always delayed. And I think that allows the market to soak up that demand.
Yeah, and we spoke to Katril Nada Bingati of Bingati just a couple of weeks ago when they were in London ringing the bell at the stock market. And she was saying, I think it was just 28,000 units handed over in Dubai last year. It's against a forecast supply of about 60 or 70,000.
Yeah, I think, again, there was the Fitch report that came out a few months ago. And again, my answer to that was that you cannot look at those numbers. These predicted and projected numbers don't always come out, and again, it allows the market opportunity.
But when do you think we will get that big amount of new supply coming on the market? If you look at your projections and what you know about realistic delivery schedules, when do you think we're going to get a big slew of apartments?
I would say 2027.
Okay.
Realistically is the time when we would see a lot of units coming to market. However, the demand from international clients, not just as investors, but end users, and obviously the Dubai population has gone past 4 million. There is still a lot of people coming into Dubai and the UAE. So
10 seconds left.
It'll be
Interest
interesting
rate,
to see.
US jobs numbers, awful. Looks like we're going to get 3 rate cuts this year. I guess that's only good for real estate.
US buyers are very big right now.
American buyers. Howdy. We say to them, good talking to you, appreciate your time. Thanks very much indeed for joining us this morning down at the Neo Hub on Sheikh Zayed Road. Brandy's already doing a deal to buy a car this morning. Maybe you can fight her over the pink car. Appreciate your time this morning. Paul Christodoulou, CEO, AQUA Properties.
Dubai Eye 103.8.